had to go to.
Good evening. I call to order the City of Gerald special called City Council meeting and budget workshop Wednesday, August 19th, at 7 p.m. First item on the agenda is a roll call, and we do have all members present. Next, we have an invocation and pledge of allegiance led by Councilwoman Clausen.
Dearly Father, we come before you this evening, asking you to lead us and guide us, Lord. I know that we're all grateful for the opportunity we've been blessed to serve the citizens of Gerald. As we conduct our business on the agenda, grant us wisdom, patience, and good judgment. May we listen carefully to one another, consider all the needs and concerns as we make the decisions with integrity. Lord, remind us that our role is to serve the entire community. Give us the courage to do what's right and the wisdom to seek solutions that will benefit our city not only now, but in the years ahead. Please continue to watch over our residents, our first responders, our city employees, our schools, and all those who work and make our city a better place to live. May our discussions be respectful and productive, and may our decisions reflect a commitment to the well-being and prosperity of Gerald, the city we all love and call home. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next item on the agenda is public comments. We do not have any. Okay. So, next is agenda item 3, regular agenda items. 3.1, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding bids received for the repairs to County Road 306 and possible selection of a contractor. Mike, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So I have before y'all today 3 bids for the road repairs on County Road 306. I've also included a couple photos so y'all can see the state of that road if y'all haven't traveled it recently. This is one of the worst roads we have in town, and absolutely needs something to be done with it. It's going beyond what we're capable of doing in-house with pothole repairs. So it's going to require outside contracting to do what needs to be done to it. The reason this road is significant is it connects 487 to I-35. In the coming years, we're going to have to do something to Seawest Stockton, and that's going to require full depth repairs. We're going to need some sort of alternative route for when that's being done, and with this road being repaired, we'll have a decent option for that.
I got a quick question. Recommendation was 1, south of paving, but why were they chosen over the RDC, which looks like RDC was willing to do 52,800 square foot of mill and pave versus 48,000 and a little bit cheaper?
Yes, sir. The biggest difference between that contract and the Alpha paving contract is the last bullet point that states no warranty due to the existing base conditions.
Okay.
So due to that, I think that it would be irresponsible to do it.
And Alpha's gonna give us what type of warranty?
Let's see, I think it's 12-month. I don't see it listed here.
Yeah.
But they did the Avenue G project over there by the fire department. And after that work was completed, there was some warranty work required with the building of the Hall School Loop over there. The amount of traffic and heavy machinery that was on those roads during that time, did cause some damage, and Alpha Paving came out, no questions asked, and repaired it.
There's that big pothole that developed over there,
Yes,
the fire station.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned you worked with Alpha Paving, gave us the example of that. Maybe you worked with any of the other two bids that were submitted?
No, ma'am, I have not.
And just for clarification, the funds that are being allocated here, that's from the offset of the sales tax money that goes into the street fund?
Yes, ma'am,
I appreciate you giving that road priority.
absolutely.
Is this road gonna be where we're rerouting our trucks? No. Didn't think so. Okay, just double checking.
Now, the existing base conditions, since they're not planned, what exactly is going on in the base on the road?
So the base is the caliche, that they were gonna mill down to and then resurface. So with the, RDC contract, they're, I guess, not going, or I'm guessing, they're not going to do anything to that base before milling and overlaying.
I guess what I'm asking, is the base still stable, or are we just putting a Band-Aid, we spend our money on something maybe we need to figure out going full? Kind of a buy once, cry once thing?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. No, I understand. From my understanding, with talking with these contractors, that Alpha is going to do something to our base to make it to where it's sufficient, to where they can uphold a warranty whenever they do mill and overlay that road.
Alpha says it's gonna rubber mill existing asphalt and clean and haul off. That's second bullet.
Yeah.
The other people say. That they're gonna add additional asphalt.
Well, the one with no warranty, I just throw that one right out.
Right. I'll move to accept the bid from Alpha Paving in the amount of $150,264.83 for the repairs to County Road 306 and authorize staff to proceed with the contract. And can we add the terms of the warranty to it?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. It was unanimous. Agenda item 3.2, consider ordinance number 2026-0819. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dash 01, adopting amendment number 1 to the fiscal year 2025-2026 operating budget.
Did we say we're getting an in-house building inspector, or we already have gotten an in-house?
We have one.
We just hired one.
Just hired one.
Yes.
So all those contract fees for just that, are they gonna go down considerably?
That, yes, they should, yes. And then during the budget discussions, I was gonna talk about potentially hiring another building inspector to take over our plan review fees. Because both of those line items in our budget are over $600,000, so the more we can bring it in-house, I think, to save the city money,
Exactly.
the better. Do you have any questions about any of these line items? I could kind
Are we
of
gonna,
help you.
are we going to be able to recoup any of the money we spent on the Fifth Street abatement house?
We will see in the future. We do plan on putting a lien on the property, so if the house ever sells,
Okay.
we could potentially recoup some of that money there, but it's kind of an unknown future thing. We don't know if it'll happen or when it will happen.
Did we, pay the full amount, or did their insurance cover anything on that, or?
I'm not sure exactly what the insurance paid, but, that amount is,
Sheesh.
And then the funds for the Old Town Master Plan, that was just the price we paid for that, the 170?
correct, yeah. That's adding the funds, they ran a little bit over what we,
It didn't get budgeted appropriately.
Yeah.
from the get-go. And then the PD contract labor, we paid in advance for our dispatch fees for this upcoming year. So if you look at our current budget, that number is like $99,000, which typically is
Okay.
quite a bit more than that.
So all these capital fund projects down here at the bottom that we're having to add funds, what, is this just,
Those were not budgeted correctly in last year's budget, they were, I guess,
I mean, were these like things we didn't know were coming up, or is this Walmart related, or is it,
no, I mean,
what'd you say?
A little bit of
Forrest?
both.
Each, so like the Willis Creek is Walmart related. The Labatt, that one just wasn't something that was planned for. I mean, everyone knew it was coming, but it wasn't something that was budgeted.
Mhm.
The hydrogeologist, that was something that should have been in there, but it wasn't budgeted. The 305 water line, that was unforeseen because the grant for CDBG funds came in so much lower, so the project wasn't able to get complete all the way to Seabud Stockton. But that's now complete, so that'll be an expense that will pay out before the end of this year.
Okay.
And then that was 14 floodplain mapping, that was a unplanned project that was brought before y'all earlier this year, with the county.
Okay.
For the FEMA flood maps.
I remember that, but I thought one of us asked, is that in the budget? I could be wrong, I have to go back and watch the tapes.
So we were gonna have to add the 50,000 for this year and then the other 50 to next year's budget. And that was something that y'all were okay with doing.
Oh, I got it. I'll move to approve ordinance number 2026-081901, adopting amendment number 1 to the fiscal year 2025-2026 operating budget.
Second.
okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second. No further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. It was unanimous. Agenda item 3.3, discussion, consideration of possible action regarding the developers agreement to allocate 150 living unit equivalents to Gerald Independent School District under the Mazonas Project Utility Service Agreement. So this one, the superintendent approached me, and asked if Mizonas could transfer 150 LUEs, to the school for their future build-out plans. They did ask for an extension more than 7 years. 7 years is what we've been doing for development agreements. And it just gives them the ability to make sure that they have water, because their plans to build out are not within 7 years, they're more of like a 10-year, 15-year timeline, so.
Now, is this the track where potentially the data center could go?
Correct. And so right now, they have 750 LUEs if they go, they build houses, and they're gonna transfer over 150 of those to the school. They still plan, as far as I know, doing the data center, and I think they're gonna use around 100 LUEs for the data center.
With Governor Abbott's new moratorium on the data center and his requirements that he listed out, are we gonna go back and, are we able to go back and review requirements on them? I can't remember if we completely finished their agreement and agreed to everything. I know we,
So everything has been agreed to, and what we have talked about from discussions on the legal side is that we would just wait and see what the state does versus having additional regulations put in place from the city side, because whatever the state does is gonna trump whatever we do. So if we just wait until the state enacts their rules and restrictions and see what they come out in the next legislative session, then we can decide what else in addition to that we wanna do. But I don't think at this time there's really anything to discuss as far as like new
So if-
changes to the agreement.
so if the state passes those new requirements, it automatically we have to abide by that regardless of the agreements that we're in.
Well, as far as if we're held
So
to.
what agreements do they have right now? They have a utility service agreement.
Yes,
Right.
they also have a development agreement.
They do have a development agreement. Yeah, so they would be, I mean, we're bound to the development agreement if they've already entered into it prior to the state taking action. But again, it depends what the state is gonna do.
So they could potentially be grandfathered in.
Potentially, unless the state says otherwise. And do you know if this proposed data center is going to be connecting to the grid?
For electricity.
Yeah,
I would assume so, based on the initial conversations that they had, but I don't know what changes.
because right now the state is only, the moratorium is only on data centers that are connecting to the grid.
Well, I know that it was, they were proposing gas lines. That was mentioned in there, I don't, so that was an alternative to that agreement.
And that's regulated through the state. None of our agreements have
Mhm.
anything for electricity or gas lines, so.
So this is just shifting 150 of the LUEs from that original.
If they
agreement,
decided to
so-
go residential, they would be limited now to 600 instead of 750.
The existing utility service agreement says that they can allocate LUEs elsewhere with the city's consent. So that's what this particular item is for, but it's my understanding that we will need to amend the utility service agreement if they're going to kind of reroute through the high school, is that right?
And I would also recommend that when we bring back, if y'all are agreeing to this, for the school, in their utility service agreement, I would think that we would need to add some kind of caveat that they need to do a utility feasibility study before they do any kind of expansion to see if there's any offsite improvements that they need to make to the system for overall improvements, because we don't know the timeline on when they're actually gonna construct. So we can say, yeah, you can have 150 LUEs now, but that doesn't mean that there's other improvements that are gonna have to be made at that time whenever they get ready to build, so.
Because they wanted 20-year term versus a typical 7.
Another question. I recall in multiple utility agreements that we've had with just various projects, that there was always a sentence of, you're not able to transfer your LUEs, if you don't use them, you lose them.
So,
So they would still revert back to the city as far as any unused LEDs.
well, I'm gonna say what we said the other night, if you start letting people transfer the LEUs for one, it's gonna be for everybody.
It is in a development agreement with our consent. That the agreement states that they can be transferred to council approved.
Yes,
Oh, that one particularly does say that?
the utility services agreement says that with council consent, they can transfer the LUEs, so that's why I propose, sure, you can allocate LUEs elsewhere, but it's contingent upon us amending your utility service agreement. That way, we know exactly what your proposed infrastructure is.
Yeah, what wasn't being done before was coming back and amending your agreement. It was just saying, okay, we're gonna transfer X amount of LUEs over to Joe down the street.
Okay,
Yeah, so at least this makes it aware that there's a change that wants to be occurring before we find out later.
Which is listed here. I'll move to approve the allocation of 150 LEDs from the Smithsonian Project Utility Service Agreement to Gerald Independent School District, subject to the city's approval and execution of a formal amendment to the utility service agreement.
All right, we have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
All those opposed say nay. So it's unanimous. Okay, at this time, we're going to adjourn into executive session. For agenda item 4.1, executive session, pursuant to Texas Government Code, section 551.074, to discuss the recruitment, selection of the city manager, including the interview process, employment offer, and potential appointment of an interim city manager. At this time, the city council is adjourned at 7:22 p.m. Gerald City Council is now back in session at 8 p.m. Okay, we're in open session to consider, discuss, deliberate, and take action on any item discussed in executive session. Agenda item 5.1, take any action deemed necessary as a result of executive session item 4.1. I believe at this time we have no action.
Action.
All right, moving on, we'll now open a budget workshop. Agenda item 6.1, a workshop to discuss the upcoming annual budget, fiscal year 2026-2027. No formal action will be taken. So, y'all, you guys
I mean,
all
you got someone to present it, then we can, or do you want me to just go through my highlighting and ask?
go through your highlighted and ask.
Okay, here we go.
We can answer those questions for you.
Just a couple of things, not many.
Yeah.
So I'm on utility fund expenditures. That first wastewater services, and it says salaries and benefits, I noticed no budget was done until did we get a new, are we budgeted, is that a new position? Right there, you're right there.
Yep. The salaries and benefits,
Yes, under wastewater services, because don't we contract that out? What is this position?
that is, for our water and wastewater director over there, Pooch, his salary, so this year we separated out. Previously, we had all of our salaries coming out of the general fund, administration. Now we're breaking it up into departments and also funds. So he handles water and wastewater, and that's why it's coming out of that
So
fund.
nothing's changed, it just
Correct.
is
We've just broken it
broken
up.
down so we can
Yes.
see it, perfect.
Even if you look at the
I got a whole list.
While you're on utility fund.
Yeah, I'm not still on that page.
Okay, got some on that too, okay. Go ahead.
Anything else, Matthew? What were you gonna say? No?
Oh, no,
Okay.
go ahead.
So supplies and materials and all of this is under utility fund, so what do we spend $29,000 on postage?
That's for whenever we have to send out notifications, for, you know, anytime we do annexations or,
Well, under the utility fund, that's the monthly billing.
no, that's that. But we're,
What are we on?
Oh,
Sorry.
monthly billing.
Yeah, which, are we still on utility funds?
Yeah.
Golly, it costs us that much to just send out the bill? Okay,
The bill at the beginning of the month, and then the late notice is on the 15th.
okay, and then what on the, we're still on this page, going down to contracted services? I'm assuming this 2.1 million is for,
that's gonna be for,
I know, I can't think of the
Crossroads,
company's name.
but
That's
it also
all.
includes our Infomark payments.
Okay,
So we will be done with those next budget cycle, so that amount will go down quite a bit.
Is that the same for the contracted services that's all again? What is that, what's the difference between the two contracted services and is that for the house or?
where are you looking?
Which one?
Same with utility.
Oh, down
We
here at the
have
bottom?
water and wastewater,
Right, so the same.
Contracted
but
services.
different,
correct, so we split them out between
but it-
expenses on wastewater and also water.
And we no longer need any money for ARPA?
No, that project will be completed at the end of this year.
Correct. We were looking into getting reimbursed for that amount, because Lone Star Regional Water Authority
Yeah.
got the $14 million for the project, and they're responsible for engineering, and construction of that. That $252,000 was for a piece of land for our pump station. We're looking into seeing if it can't be included in that project, because in my mind, it should be. So, not saying definite or anything, but we're looking into seeing if we can get reimbursed for that amount.
Okay, and then here under miscellaneous expenses, we've never budgeted for travel and training, and now we're budgeting for 10,000.
So that's gonna be for his position there, or
That's for
him to be able to
doing
get
like,
his
classes.
licenses.
Oh, you're gonna get
Yes,
more license.
yes.
He did not get any training and travel budgeted since he started, and so his license is coming up for expiration, and he needs to get that renewed, and then if we're wanting to go forward with bringing more stuff in-house and reducing contract labor, then we need him to get all
Excellent.
that updated, so.
Okay, and one moment. Now I'm moving over to capital project funds. First question mark. So we're not gonna budget any money for like water sources or land acquisition, we're not budgeting any
So
money for that?
this initial, that's discussions, we can add money,
Oh,
I don't see that.
we've got it to move it, perfect.
so if you wanna do things like that, we can go in and adjust the budget, to include some of those items.
Okay,
I've been kind of working on an updated one, and one thing that I have, my updated one is, $200,000 for land acquisition. That was primarily for, we need to look at acquiring a piece of property for a new PD building, or
Yeah.
looking at buying our current PD building. That contract expires next year,
right,
so,
okay. And then, community park upgrades, what are we doing for 100,000? We've never budgeted for that.
I put it in there to discuss if y'all wanna invest some money in, either into our current park, baseball fields, or we do have the 17 acres that we haven't touched. And so putting money in to start trying to,
Where's that
Build it
17
out.
acres located?
it's on the east side, right there, 487 and I-35, the service road.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 17 acre park over there.
Putting it right up.
Oh.
Stonebridge.
Yeah.
And the county,
Oh,
the
okay.
county has some land over there that they have to discuss with the county commissioner, one of the county commissioners, that they would donate that land to us if we put money into building a park over there.
Oh, okay,
So
very nice,
I just put 100 in there. I don't know what it might be, but
right.
kind of a placeholder to,
And then, do we have public works equipment we know we're purchasing, so we're budgeting that?
that's equipment that the Public Works is requesting. They still have one position to fill, but that would be for a vehicle, a trailer, a mower, and a skid steer. So if you look under the Public Works Department, which has now been combined between the Parks and Community Center departments, we're still having a contract out for some mowing services and stuff, and that's $125,000, I believe.
Yeah, we need to get some mowers and just let our guys mow. That's crazy.
Yeah. We're trying to take some more of that stuff in-house to
Yes.
reduce those costs.
I think that's all the questions I had. I'm not gonna pick on the PD.
Well, I got a question for the PD.
Yeah.
Just one police car? That's all?
That's it.
You just
Everything
need-
else is still holding up nicely, or?
It's there. It's working.
Well, that's why,
So next year, this year, I wanted to focus on some things that we really needed to get a hold of to try to finish outfitting the cars and the fleet that we currently have. For whatever reason, we let those cars get in pretty bad shape. And we've spent a lot of money this year trying to fix things like seats and, I don't know why the Fords are so bad with the front fenders coming apart, but we've spent a lot of money on those fenders. Like we had a tail light go out that somehow has water in it. It's $1,000 for that tail light.
What?
So, yeah, it's crazy.
I've changed out a tail light.
Well, it's
Easy.
not it's the lens that is the problem, it's not the bulb, anyway, we've
That's
spent a lot of
crazy.
money on trying to fix the cars.
Do we have a contracted garage that you take these to, or repair places, or?
So we kind of split depending on what the repair is. We use RNA Automotive quite a bit. We have used Southern Tire on some things. We've used Affordable Tire on some things. Our oil changes we get done next door. So just depending on what we're dealing with. And if it's a transmission or a serious motor issue, then we'll either take it to Ford or we'll take it to like Interstate Auto in Georgetown. But we try to find the best rate that we can.
Right.
Next year, unfortunately, I'll have to talk to you about cars.
I mean, I'm just trying, I think it's the first time I've ever seen one car come up, so.
So we're okay right now. I think that we'll be fine till next year, but next year we're gonna have to have some discussions about some vehicles.
Let me rephrase it. Does it make more sense to add on, spread it out over 2 budgets, maybe add on an extra car now instead of trying to hit us for more next year where it's.
I tried to keep the budget because I knew about the Fifth Street house, so I tried to keep the budget to bare bones basically as I could. I kind of went crazy when I asked for the mobile message board for the car, but that came as a result of the fireworks, after action review of what happened at the fireworks. And we kind of all agreed that it would have been nice to have a message board. And this message board is multi-function, so if Lane needs it, he can have it. If we need it at City Hall for something, it's certainly functional for all those uses. But yeah, I tried to keep it as bare bones as I could. If you'll give me another car, I'll take it.
I'm just speaking out loud. If it makes more sense to spread it out a little bit.
And what do we have budgeted for potential options for future police?
The amount I put in there was $200,000. There is a property owner that I've heard is willing to finance a piece of property. And so trying to look into doing that instead of having to do one big lump sum off the bat, kind of splitting it up a little bit.
answered all my questions, thank you. And you said you're still kind of tweaking things, so we may see another revised version?
Yeah, I'll give you all an update if you want.
And does this include any salary increases that'll happen due to annual raises of any kind?
Yes, so, right now there's a cost of living, increase that we have in for the employees. And that is 5%. I can send you all of the departments, with current salaries and updated salaries, and then, we have a meeting next week, so y'all can kind of pick percentage-wise what y'all would like to do.
And do we have an updated handbook of sorts to employee handbook that I know we were in the midst of?
No,
updating
we
that
are
one.
gonna have to update the employee handbook to match the PD salaries, because those, in the past, were increased, and so they don't match our employee handbook.
And will that be something we can approve at the same time that we're looking at this? So that
We can, yeah, if y'all would like to, whenever we adopt the budget, change that section in our employee handbook to
that way
match.
it matches.
You smoke detector in the budget too, so.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
we have
Please get
batteries
some
sitting there.
There was a grass fire there.
Yeah. That's scary. Somebody's smoking hot in here.
We got our meeting next week for sure.
That's the plan, yeah.
Post it.
Yeah. It's already posted.
Yeah.
It's already posted.
I haven't gotten a copy of the agenda.
Next Tuesday, instead of needed.
Well, we'll just, we'll wait.
Well, it says if needed, I can always cancel it.
True.
She just had it posted before.
Got it. Okay. Drew, you good down there?
I'm good. We'll come in next week.
Good?
Yep.
Yep.
Nothing further? All right. So with that, I'm going to close this workshop. And we have nothing else. We are adjourned at 8:17 PM.